No, we're just going on early. Hey, guys, it's still Tuesday and it's still Homestead Update time. We wanted to pop on here.
We're alive.
And let you guys know we were live. I don't think it's going to show up in the chat, but that's okay. So we lost internet. We lost internet completely. In fact, let me show you guys. Where is it?
What are you looking for?
It is. So this is when our internet went down right there. And you can see that it's kind of hard to see on the screen, but that's 33,800 and something. And that's just people that could say that there was an internet outage.
We could not say that we had an outage.
Yeah, we couldn't. We were down completely. Mm-hmm. In fact, we were concerned because the phones weren't working.
Right.
Either. We weren't getting good phone coverage. And this is one of those
PJs.
This is one of those things that is a concern of ours right now.
Right. Kind of had a wake-up call.
well,
we knew this was on the back burner.
Yeah.
So we knew what we needed to do, but now it's like, oh crap, we really got to get this going.
It's not just that. It's just, we've got Starlink and what's going on in Eastern Europe.
Hey, tag.
What's going on in Eastern Europe, Elon Musk is providing Starlink to the Ukrainians. Mm-hmm. And
oops,
cat just came in through the door. He's providing internet to the Ukrainians, and it's a big concern of ours that the Russians are going to decide to shut it down because they've got, not only do they have the hacking ability, they've got anti-satellite missiles that they can launch and take out satellites.
Right, and we have no other option for internet.
Right.
Not if you want us to live stream and do videos. There's no way.
Yeah,
there's nothing. Videos. We can't do giant here because we're in the valley. We would have to have a tower of
over 85 feet.
85 feet. So then we have to have a light on that and that kind of thing. It's convenient where we're at, but with the convenience of where we're at and what we have, it's also not convenient for those extra amenities, right? But we did okay. So during the outage, when we lost you guys, I went ahead and I processed and got sealed some of the food, the freeze-dried food, and got that done. You went out, unloaded grain. Mm-hmm. We weren't upset. We were, communicating. Thank you to all of you that reached out to us and asked us if we were okay. I was a little worried for about 15 minutes because it wasn't even like I was out on the porch trying to get a hold of Spags, and I was like, hey, can you get in chat? Let everybody know we lost internet. We'll get back on as soon as we can. And my message wouldn't go through. And then it was just a hot mess. So I stepped outside to see if I could get coverage. I'm doing that whole thing where you hold a piece of metal with this hand, and then you put your phone up as high as you can to try to get signal. And finally, for some reason, it started coming through. I switched over to my cellular data. Yeah, and so then I was able to get text messages. Still could not call out, but no problem. At least I could text. And then a jet flew over, and I was like, well, maybe they're just doing kind of a military thing, and they shut it down to get this jet over, and then it would come back up. That's not what it was. Obviously, it was a huge outage, and, well, we don't know that that's not what it was, but, yeah, the lizard people, we were blaming it on the Russians. I kind of like
we were on the live, and we were on it for about 20 minutes, and
I don't even think it was that long.
Internet just went dead.
Yeah,
just complete black.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Sometimes it happens, but this was a very long outage, and I got onto the heat map of Starlink outages, and it looks like
after we got internet.
Yeah, after we got internet
because we couldn't check it, and poor Spags was trying for us to figure out what was going on, but you have to have an account in order to be able to check that. And
something I personally, from looking at the map and everything, I think something happened in Chicago. So the way our Starlink works here is it goes up, hits the satellite, and then it comes back into the internet in Hyde Park, Chicago. And I know this because anytime I go to Lowe's or like any big box store, that automatically figures out where you are based on your internet connection. Yeah. I'm getting the Lowe's in Hyde Park, Chicago.
Our maps does the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then looking on the heat map, there was a dot right there in the last 24 hours, and it looked like that may have been where the problem
So
was.
either Chicago's burning down or it was a fluke. We're the Russians.
Yeah.
We're the lizard people.
Yeah, they don't like our message.
Yeah.
Our message of
Yeah, we were just talking about the butcher experience. So
the butcher. And
kinda
the butcher
weird.
showed up while we were here.
yeah, so well, he needed to. I don't. Okay,
Tell
so
him, give him the short story. It's 8:15.
okay,
give him
so the
story.
short story is that they got my cut sheet confused with somebody else's cut sheet. Now, I did get the meat that I wanted, but I did not get the organs that I also asked for. And so when in the soup bones, well, we talked, we have that figured out. And so anyway, so on the cut sheet, it didn't show. It was another Angela something that was, they say it was close to Allard. I think he just wasn't paying attention because it was closer. The guy, it wasn't, that was the butcher, and that was not the guy that I picked the meat up from. So I think he just wasn't paying attention and, didn't verify anything. Silly me. I didn't look at the cut sheet. So that was bad. And then when I called on Saturday to rectify it, because a friend of ours in the community was going to go pick up the other half of the cow, because I split a cow with her, and she was going to go pick up the other half, and I was like, hey, can you just pick up my soup bones and organs and all of that when you go and get yours? She was like, sure, yeah, no problem. So I called on Saturday to make sure that all that's ready, and the guy looked at the cut sheet and he was like, nope, you didn't order any of that. I'm like, okay, I'm not stupid. And now I'm kind of irritated because I cannot fill out my cut sheet by myself. I have to do it over the phone. And you're telling me that I don't remember something. And trust me, when it comes to what I pay for, I know what I'm getting. And I, pile everything in the freezer a certain way, and I know what's not there. And basically, the guy that was on the phone just told me I was wrong. Well,
and on the upside was the butcher drove an hour and a half.
Well, Kelly Farms is the one that actually rectified that. So the organs and stuff that are sitting in the freezer all have Julie's name on them. Oh. So Julie gave up her stuff to make it right, which I totally appreciate.
He still drove an hour and a half.
And he did.
You're doing everything you can just to not give them any props.
No, I am going to give them credit. Okay, hang on just a second. But I don't want to leave Julie out because she's the one that rectified the situation, right? And so then what they did, Julia talked to them, and he called me, and she let me know he's going to call you. So he called me, and he said, I'm going to drive this out to you, but we don't close till 6. And so, I'll drive it out to you. And so we figured it out. I feel real bad for them because it's an hour and a half drive. And, but I also kind of glad that he rectified it and I didn't have to make the 3-hour drive in order to go get those cuts, right? And so the soup bone issue. So, and this is a new butcher who just took over, I think, like in the last year and a half, 2 years.
This is one of those things, guys, if you find a good butcher,
you got to keep them.
Hang on to them.
Yeah.
You want to do everything you can to keep them in business because, man,
it's hard.
How many butchers have we been through over the
years?
Like 10, 12 butchers, and we find a really good one. And he ends up retiring. But
what we're figuring out is you also have to understand their language, right? So I'm used to just being able to say, yeah, I want soup bones. And I get a great big, huge box of soup bones, with the marrow and all of that in it, maybe a little bit of meat. And so I can render that down and I can get all of my broth and all that stuff that I'm going to need for the year. Well, granted, this was a smaller cow and I did have to share it. There was not a lot of bones. So maybe I missed that, and I will be looking for that, within the year. But the size of the cow, what he's saying, it would have been just a little bag of bones, which is weird to me because I didn't see that. But I'm going to give him credit for it. He drove them up here. And so next time what I have to ask for is a box of bones. So again, just when you're talking to them and you're on the phone with them, just figure out their language and, kind of figure out how you have to order. But I have that same issue when we take sheep and stuff to butcher. We constantly go back and forth and, you have to figure out their language because you're saying something that you're used to, but they're not used to it, or they're saying something they're used to and you're not used to it. But pretty much you think you're speaking the same language, but you're not.
And that was the short version, guys.
Right.
Imagine had we not lost internet, how long it would have been. So
Anyway,
Terminator
it's
says, my
rectified.
electrical inspector told me I am being watched. My interviews were sent to the electrical board. They accuse me of stealing power.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of busybodies. People sticking their noses in where they don't belong. You know, and it's just one of those things you got to deal with in today's day and age.
Craziness.
So since Tag's in here, if you guys didn't get a chance, I know Terminator did, and I know Faith K did. If you guys did not get a chance, go watch the interview or the live stream that Nicole, and John Willis did this afternoon. It was really good. There's a lot of good information going on there. So I highly recommend you guys go check it out. Oh,
hey Bruce. Hey, good to see everybody in there.
And we're sorry that it's running so late. And we just wanted to get on and let everybody know that
we're alive.
We were okay.
We're okay.
Everything was good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a crazy world we live in. And you never know. We were sitting here talking while we were waiting for it to come back up, and
realized that there are a few things we need to make sure that we have here.
Well, the idea that, you know, what if we were on complete off-grid power like somebody else in our community, and we had EMP protection? What if an EMP happened and we lost connectivity to the outside world?
We wouldn't.
But
know.
we wouldn't know.
We would not know.
We would have no idea until we actually went and looked for it.
So then immediately we were like, oh, we're missing some comms. And like I said, these are stuff that we know, and it's just things that got put on the back burner because we were trying to get infrastructure in, but we will be making some things priority. So
where is it? There it is. Spag says you'd also go watch Tag Star of the Beast 13, best video on the internet. Yeah, it's pretty dang good. That whole series is a good series, though.
Yeah, it is.
You know. Well, I got a lot of hate last week. Oh my gosh, the amount of hate. You guys want to go see the state of debate and political discussion?
Was there a debate? I don't think there was a debate.
Well, no, it's the state of debate because there wasn't any.
I respect your opinion, but if we meet in person, I'm kicking your butt.
Okay, you said that the guy did not say that. You cannot.
Those are my words.
Those are
but
your
that's
words.
What I interpreted
that's
from
what
it.
You interpreted, right?
Yes.
Right. No, but I posted that moving advice for self-proclaimed liberals, and oh my God! In fact, it was so bad that Thursday morning there's going to be a response to all the stuff we got. Yeah, Spags gave me love. I went live and just the comments were crazy. So I contacted Spags. I was like, dude, you need to go check this video response out. This is crazy.
Literally, there was a response like every single minute.
These people, the amount of hate that came across. And I'm telling you guys.
But they're all peaceful.
I'm telling you guys right now, there are people on, I'm going to say our side, okay, on the right side of this issue, let's say. Not right political spectrum, but right as in morally right on this issue that behave the same way. And we need to be, as much as we want to point fingers at the leftists when they do this, we need to point fingers more often at the people on our side. And I'm guilty. I am guilty of being parochial about it, and I'm guilty of ad hominem attacks sometimes, you know. But you know, but we need to start crafting our message better. Yeah, Tag's right. If you're not getting heat, you're not doing it. No, I
hate.
He's
on a carb crash, guys. So bear with him.
No, seriously. I posted that video, and I knew I was going to get some feedback, and and admittedly there was some trolling in it. You know that I was trolling a little bit. Admittedly, I did not think I would get the responses like I did, or the type of responses. And I must have been right over the target with what I said for how hateful and malicious.
And there were like almost 9,000 views, maybe a little bit
over
more.
9,000 now.
Over 9,000. So almost 10,000. So imagine the comments we had to deal with.
And
a lot of them coming out of California, New York, and all of that. And some I don't even think live in the States. So.
I talked I talked last week about a video from Freedom TV about a armed protest in Virginia, an armed militia protest, and I'm going to do a reaction to that because I think it's a very illuminating video because it shows how not to frame your message. The message the guys had was spot on and perfect as far as I'm concerned. But you can't do a 30-minute video and have the last 2 or 3 minutes be a really good message, and preface it with stuff that's going to turn people off. I think Tag one time we were talking, and I think it was on our live or something, and Tag made the comment about a friend of his that was on the wrong side of an issue.
Yeah.
And Tag said he's so glad that he didn't call him stupid. Yeah. And I started thinking about that, and I said that is perfect. And listen, I lost friends, and I didn't lose friends. I cut people off after the last election because they were so far in the tank and so far on the wrong side of the issue that I honestly I felt they were either ignorant or complicit or just downright evil, and I let them know that. And in retrospect, that's probably not the way I should have handled it.
But you were reacting to things that were said to you as well. So
B is going to do a video on it's all her fault. Yeah. But so we need to be that's one of my things right now is we need to craft our message better. We need to, if we're gonna talk about community, we're gonna talk about all these other things. We need to craft our message better, and we need to, if you're not certain that a message is going to be proper or right or the right tone or the right information, run it by somebody. Talk to people. That's what we're here for. We're here to
think it through.
We're here to bounce ideas off each other. And this is coming from the guy that was banned from sending emails for a little while because I had a tendency to tell the unvarnished truth in them. Had to run for about 1.5 years. I had to run all my emails on certain issues through my manager so that he could say, okay, you need to edit this out and say this different. Hey, Skeins, yeah, we're back. We got internet back. It was a scary thing. We thought the world had died and we were alone. But everything's good.
I've been in this conspiracy theory.
Oh, tell them about Topeka.
Mindset. And so there's weird stuff going on in Topeka. And then to make matters worse, it was Grandparents' Day yesterday. So I had to go through Kansas City. And I noticed a trend. And I told Garen, I'm like, if I was a conspiracy theorist, I'd be really worried right now. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, all of the major veins going through Topeka and then even some of the side roads, right? So to get in and out, they all go down to one lane. And so Garen goes, well, just make sure you're not in Topeka on October 4th. And I was like, what's October 4th? And then he told me, and I was like, oh, what in the world? And so then I was driving from the grandbabies and I had to go through Kansas City, and I'll be damned, everything is shut down to one lane. And I was like, what in the world? And it's like getting in and out.
You know what?
I was only on 2 highways, though, going through Kansas City.
You know why they're doing that, don't you?
I'm assuming because they got grants and it's the end of the year, they have to use all their money and all of that.
It's the end of summer.
It's just really weird timing is what I'm saying.
Trying to get it done before everything.
And I just, so I'm not panicked or anything like that. I'm just like, dang, man, there's like Spag said, there's some really good TV right now. We could totally do an entire project and just floor people.
Yeah.
So October 4th comes, and then those warnings go out, and the next thing you know, everybody's in one lane. You've got that inspector or whoever it's going to be checking for your papers. I want to see your papers. Do you belong here?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
First off, okay, I do not believe in grand conspiracies. Yes, people conspire. That's just part of life. What do you look for?
I'm just checking. Do my glasses bother you?
No, but You only put them on when you're looking for
Well, I was looking for tags.
But anyway, these people conspire, yes, but are there grand conspiracies like the lizard people and all this other stuff? No, I don't think so. I think more likely what the cause of everything is, there's a whole bunch of fellow travelers out there, and they don't have to conspire and have this great big conspiracy where it's a great big secret. Hey, if you've ever been in Washington, D.C., if two people know a secret, it's not a secret.
Everybody knows it.
So everybody knows it. So that it just, the government having grand conspiracies is just farcical.
And they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you before they do it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if you're awake, like Tag says, if you're awake to hear it.
Yeah, but the fellow travelers, they don't have to have some guiding person telling them what to do. They just know what to do. That's one of the reasons why the United States military is so effective. And the Germans in World War II were terrified of the American military because the American culture, we did not have to have specific orders to go do something. We just went and did it.
Bye, Leather Homestead.
And
have a good night.
All right, yeah, good night, man. They just went out and did it. They just went out and killed Germans. They just went out and killed Japanese in lieu of higher orders. Whereas the Russians with the centralized command and the Germans with the very rigid hierarchy, they were not as flexible. And so that's our American culture. And the fellow travelers in this country, for better or worse, express that part of our culture. And we've got fellow travelers on our side. We've got people in our community that we don't have to be told what to do. And you've got them in your communities too. We don't have to be told what to do. We just go do what needs to be done. All right.
So Skeins, where'd you get lost?
She was lost because we were gone.
Her
life lost all meaning because our internet.
I don't think that's true. I think that's an exaggeration.
Well, that's the way I'm interpreting it.
What Tag said he can explain what?
He can explain it, but he can't make you understand it.
Right.
Oh.
You lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Especially if I don't want to understand it. There's a lot of that going on out there too.
Yeah, there is a lot. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, okay, the slight change in tone on our channel. I'm going to start doing more social and political commentary in the form of shows. And it's two reasons. I'm going to do it.
You can't do another channel, a different channel, and do that?
No, I'm doing it on here because it's important to our message.
We're going to get cut off.
No, we won't. I'm not going to do it like that. The first one is, as I said last week, politics is downstream from culture. And let's face it, we have lost the culture war. If we haven't lost it, we're on a good way down that road of losing it. So we need to start fighting the culture war better. And it needs to be done. It can't be done by the Rush Limbaughs and the Dan Bonginos and all those guys. It has to be done by us. We have to, and it goes to crafting our message. We have to be able to bring our message to people in a manner that they can understand it and in a manner that provides a better vision of the future than what the other side can offer. All right. And so I'm going to start doing that. And number two, I'm kind of doing an experiment. I've been learning more about the way YouTube works and all this. And I'm trying to do an experiment to see if I've got it figured out. I mean, there are channels out there that, my God, the content is horrible. It's horrible. It's completely horrible. And these people have 200,000 subscribers.
Unreal.
And it's not jealous or anything. It's one of those things. It's I don't have a hobby beyond the farm, and I need something to do when I'm not actually working on the place. So I think about these things.
So I saw a comment. Hey, Anti.
Before she goes on, can I tell everybody about your avatar and that channel? Is it okay if I tell people that story?
That email was very interesting.
That was crazy. Mm-hmm. So if you give me the thumbs up or the go ahead, I'm going to share your story with everybody. That's okay.
That was insane. I couldn't believe that. Yeah, so speaking of Midwest Preparedness Project, and then next week we go to Tennessee
Back to the
Back
Land.
to the Land. And at Back to the Land, I will have 4 sun ovens, All American sun ovens. That is our package. So there was some miscommunication. We got it all figured out. So the base package is $469. Then there's shipping, tax, all of that. So we have all of that figured out. And I ordered 4. They'll be here tomorrow. So we will have them for Back to the Land. And at whatever festival you're at, know how many I have. And, I'll just make sure that we constantly have them in stock. And then we'll turn around and you guys can just get them right there. You still have to pay the shipping because I have to pay shipping. So it turns out to be about $506. And I've got, I'll have the invoice, and I've got the invoice of what I paid, so I'll know the entire breakdown. So
I'm gonna go check to see what she's working at.
Probably herself, a reflection in the window. So. But yeah, so we'll have those. I know there were some that said they wanted them for Midwest. I need verification on that for what you want to make sure that I have them, because I'll have to order those earlier if we sell out in Tennessee.
Okay,
which is an absolute possibility.
So Anti sent us an email. What, about 3 weeks ago, maybe?
I don't even know if it was.
And he was telling us the story of how he got banned from a YouTube channel because of his avatar. Now, if you don't know what his avatar is, that's the Gadsden flag.
No. Did he get banned?
He got banned because of his avatar.
Because the guy reported it.
No, the guy saw it. The guy on the channel saw his avatar when he was in chat and banned him from the channel because he did not like what the Gadsden flag stood for. And to make matters worse, well, and I can kind of understand this because I've done this to people. He didn't want to discuss it. He felt that he was morally superior and he didn't have to explain himself. And it's his channel, so he's right. He's right. But the Anti sent us the message that the guy sent him. So that's the receipt he's talking about. So if anybody wants to see that, email me and I'll forward you the message because it's completely crazy. And it came out. The wild thing was it came out. He sent us that email about a week before the incident with the 7th grader and the Gadsden flag in Colorado, where they yanked.
I guess I missed that story.
They yanked this kid from the classroom at this private school because he had Gadsden flag on his on his backpack, and a teacher, mind you, said that the Gadsden flag was racist and a sign of slavery.
What?
Yeah, that was a teacher. That was assistant principal that said that, and the student and the mom both said no. Okay, I got to help Manny up.
Mm-hmm.
Manny, you can come on.
Sorry, Manny's getting a little bit old, and the way he's laying down right now,
It's the floor.
Is it the floor? Yeah, and he's on the wood floor, so he has a hard time getting up, and so he needs some help every once in a while. He's gonna go check and see what Freya or Dolly, whoever it is barking at. So Garen had to help him up. But yeah, no, that's insane.
If he's on carpet, it's fine. Come on, bud.
Yeah, if he's on carpet, he's fine. It just for some reason now he's wanting to be in the same room I'm in. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, super weird. I don't know what's wrong with people, but it's just going to get worse at this point. You didn't go outside. Go outside. Outside. So it's just going to get worse. Oklahoma right now is going through a huge thing, and I don't think the superintendent can fix it without getting sued, to be honest with you. They put a transgender in the spot of principal at one of the schools, and that specific principal is actually gung-ho on selling its agenda to the children, and to the point that it is going to hire its friends that are of the same mind to be teachers. So that's what you're sending your kids to school.
Okay, and then I've got something else. Where is it? I got something else I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Check this out. So I was reading an article today, and
I said something about this months ago. I told you.
no, this report from the FDA just came out.
Well, that's the FDA,
yesterday.
but I said
You said because you're. Can I finish?
Go
Can
ahead.
you let me finish?
Go ahead.
So I'm reading this thing today. The FDA came down and said that one of the main active ingredients in over-the-counter cold medicines, phenylphedrine or something like that. You have to look it up. It's a long chemical word. It doesn't work. It's unnecessary. And I started looking into it, and these are brands here that are going to be affected by this. Now, this was just an advisory thing from the FDA, but if the FDA decides that they want to do something about it, they can yank every single one of these products off the shelf. Now, think about this. This is where we start thinking about crazy stuff. Not crazy stuff, because it's happened. Think about this. FDA decides they want to pull that shelf off right about the time that
COVID hits.
They start talking about lockdowns and doing all this other stuff.
Just like it did in 2020.
You know, so it's something to be watchful of. It's one of those things. If you're a prepper, the prepper in me says stock up on this kind of stuff.
We have it.
You know, OPSEC.
And we got it growing.
OPSEC.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You know, but
I told you how to get your houses in order years ago.
But this is the type of stuff that goes on. These are those fellow travelers I'm talking about. You know, so just something to be forewarned about. And then the other thing that I saw today, that's slipping me. I had something else I wanted to share with you guys because it was really kind of wonky. To be honest with you, I'll remember it and I'll put it in a community post. It's on my other PC.
I don't know that you told me anything.
No, I
about
didn't.
it.
I didn't tell you about it. But anyway, so there's the stuff we wanted to talk about. I mean, do you got anything? You guys got anything you want to talk about? Seriously, I mean, we kind of shortchanged you tonight.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff for the freeze dryer, and so I'm getting all of that package, getting it ready to go. Getting a little concerned because
what do we got going on this next week?
This week. So tomorrow
market.
I have to go I'll be at the reservation Wednesday through Saturday. Well, not all day Wednesday. I just got to go set up. And then freeze dry. And then I'll be there through Saturday at 2. You're going to come help me break down. And then you'll go back to Indiana Mike's, right?
I've got Friday, neighbor Chris is having a get together with his group.
Okay, so you guys are doing that.
Yeah, we're doing that. Do a little bit of discussion about contemporary topics, and then do a little QP training.
Yeah, and then
Saturday morning, the community's going over to Indiana Mike's, the Indiana's house, Indiana Mike and MMR, and we're gonna frame out their house, at least the first floor. We're gonna get as much done as we possibly can.
Yeah, if everybody gets together, you should get a lot done.
It should be pretty good because it's the easy part of framing. Let's just put it that way.
Right. And then the following week, again, we go to Tennessee. It's just going to be busy through October. So just the way it is. It's the way it works.
WA says the homesteading, it's like a flea market type of thing. Expo /
Why? Why did it get canceled?
Did they say why it got canceled, WA? It's very interesting.
Yeah, interesting, especially since there's other expos and things that I was asked to do over there as a real estate agent because nobody can update their information, and no, I'm not doing that anymore. But there was a whole expo they wanted me to go to, so interesting.
Go says that he will be doing hats, coffee mugs in about a week, adding to the product lines. Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent. Ghost is our go-to guy for making shirts. You know, and if we still put stuff out on Bonfire because he doesn't have the
for multiple colors, but he'll get there.
The setup. As soon as he gets the setup to do those multiple colors, that stuff is gonna go directly to him.
Yep, it's all about community and building community. So no more lining China's pockets.
Speaking of t-shirts, we have come up with the design, or I have. She gave me the thumbs up. I came up with the design for the I Survived the Great American Prepper Tour 2023 shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what's going to happen. We're going to get one shirt made, and we're going to have it at Midwest Preparedness Festival. Hopefully it gets here by time. Ghost, I gotta talk to you tomorrow about this because I just finalized this in my head today. But we're going to get one shirt made. We're going to have it up for people to see, and then we're going to have cards that are like the little what do you call them? Reward cards. The little reward cards, and you get one at Midwest Preparedness Festival, and we sign off on. We check the box for the Midwest
I
Preparedness
always
Festival.
think we need to like get different stamps for each festival.
Well, you want to pay?
So
You want to pay that money?
I mean, you can get them.
Look, I don't
so
care if
stupid
somebody-
cheap.
I don't care if somebody wants to cheat and buy one, but the
No,
people.
I don't think that's fair.
I don't think it's fair either. But it's not worth going to a whole bunch of effort. And if somebody wants it that badly, I mean,
Okay.
it's
all
kind of pathetic that they want to cheat to get a T-shirt. But that's the whole nother issue.
Hey,
Yeah.
Wes, if you want to email us your phone number, what I will do is that landowner, I will give them your phone number. And should he decide that he wants to invite you out there and accept your help, then we'll do it that way. That's how it works in our community. We don't just invite anybody anywhere. So it's up to each property owner who comes out to do that. Just security.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But anyway,
We know you, but we don't know you well enough to vouch for you. So we need to let MMR and Indiana Mike decide whether or not. Right?
Yep.
Hope you understand. Nothing against you, just kind of the way this group works.
Kermit gave me his back computer. Look, I saw this, tried to hop on, and then got a big old blue screen of death. But now I'm here at the party concert. Well, you know what? We were just talking
Blue
about
screen
you,
of
Faith.
death. I've heard that quite a bit
We
today.
were just talking about you. But anyway, so the T-shirt. So you go to you go to each festival. We mark off the card, and then at Kentucky Sustainable Living, you'll be eligible to purchase this limited edition T-shirt, and it will be. Ghost has said he can print it on demand, and it will be drop shipped directly to your house in the size you want.
But you will need to pay us the shirt, the shipping, and the
They'll
tax.
pay the price.
Right.
Don't worry.
Well, you
all
just
they
need to let everybody.
All they need to know is what the price they have to pay.
Well, I just don't want anybody to go, that's so expensive, and then
They don't buy it. Who cares?
Okay.
Seriously, who cares?
I worry about that stuff. But
No, you don't.
I do. I do sometimes.
But anyway, cheaters never win. Droopy. There's an old one I haven't heard about in a long time. I used to love Droopy cartoons. Let's see here. Ghost, I printed the sleeve logos for the Crisis Sector shirt. The black on the safety orange looks awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Way cool.
Yep. It's a surprise. Don't talk about it too much.
Yeah.
Don't talk because
I'll have mine on. So
we got some
everybody's
people in
gonna
here
see
that
it.
we got some people in here that are going to be at Midwest Preparedness Festival.
And we don't want them
We
to
don't
know.
want we don't want to spoil the surprise.
They
of what's
have to
gonna happen.
come and see me, Spags,
No, they don't have to see. Don't
and Data.
What?
That's the only way they're going to see
I
the
just
shirt.
said we don't want to talk about it.
That's the way
I
they're gonna
just
see
said
it.
we don't want to talk about it, and you're talking about it.
I think you're overreacting. But
No, you suck at security.
you're arguing. Just change the subject.
Anyway, so there it is. That's about it. Honestly, I'm having a hard time thinking of things to say. I'm extremely tired.
Yeah, and you're on that carb crash, and things aren't making sense, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how many of you caught the previous video, but apparently we're in September 23rd or 22nd. I can't even remember what the date it was.
I'm okay. So anybody,
You should probably explain that. He's not on drugs.
Skanes, you went on the carnivore thing. Tell me if this did not happen to you. About 4 or 5 days into it, you crashed really hard, and you just really felt tired and lethargic, and just not in right sorts. And then 2 or 3 days later, it went away, and everything was kosher. Well, it happened to me, and I did some reading on it because I was like, okay, this isn't normal. This is not normal. At least I don't think it's normal. And apparently it is, because I found something that they talked about, the carb flu or carb crash. And what it is your body is running through all the excess carbs. Yeah, the keto flu. That's the other one, the keto flu.
And we've got plenty of butter in there, Faith K. I'll get it into them. I just you probably need some eggs.
So I've been drinking so much water.
You need the fat. You need cream. You need butter.
I've had it with breakfast and everything.
But you've been making eggs. Are you putting butter in the eggs?
I'm using pork lard.
But you need butter.
That's fat.
Huh?
No, the problem is that I was overindulging on carbs for the last 3 months.
Well, that's true too.
I was eating way too many carbs.
I keep snacks in here for our house sitters, and we would get home and they'd all be gone. It's not good.
Okay, Skeins, add some regular food back in, like go non-carb,
reset,
non-carnivore for a day or two, and reset it, and it should kick back in and start working for you again.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take that what they call a cheat weekend, and a cheat weekend usually solves that problem.
Right. Okay, so Skeins is confirming it.
Yeah. Well, and I know, and you've been through it before.
Well, but I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
And so the last couple of days.
Was that what was worrying you?
Yeah, the last couple of days, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned about it. No, I was asleep. I was asleep at 8:30 last night.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I was coming back. We had Grandparents' Day. He was working, so I went out and we did Grandparents' Day. And I got back and I had to tiptoe to go to the bathroom and get my stuff done so I could get ready for bed. Night, Lucy.
Okay, Faith says you can fast for longer, and that can kickstart you too.
Oh, there you go. And that might be better for you, actually, Skeins, as you're a woman.
Let's see here.
I know. Try them both and see what works.
So bacon and sausage for breakfast, ham and turkey for lunch, and steak for dinner. Yeah,
pretty much. That's it. Yeah.
Basically. Well, I'm not going full carnivore. I'm going extremely low carb because we've got fresh tomatoes coming in, and the pears are ripe, and we got apples that are coming in. And I can walk out my front door. In fact, there's a short coming up in the next week or so about this, where I can walk out my front door 5 feet and go pick cherry tomatoes.
Right.
So I'm not going full carnivore this time. I'm gonna go low carb until
you're more keto. Keto, you can have tomatoes.
Yeah.
I'm keto.
I'm thinking I do this until December, and then January do. You're
gonna do that through Thanksgiving and Christmas?
I'll have my cheat days.
I was gonna say, holy smoke.
You know what? You gotta indulge. That's perfectly fine, and you should not feel.
Well,
you should not feel guilty.
So yeah, no, that's fine. But just
gin and cake probably isn't the best way to get off of it.
Yeah,
but it works.
It was probably the gin is probably no problem. The cake was probably the issue because the amount of sugar between the two. So that might be why you may. I think Faith's right. Just try fasting a little bit, and maybe try it for 12 hours. See what happens. The key to alcohol on this is white alcohol. Right. It's what?
White alcohol. You've been drinking for as long as you have. You have no idea what white alcohol is.
Or green?
No, green. Any alcohol that's not brown.
Oh yeah. White alcohol. Yeah. So more of that. Well, gin martini should be fine.
I'm figuring out exactly what I'm going to do diet-wise. I'm having liver issues, and what I know to be healthier is exactly opposite of what the specialist is telling me.
Oh yeah, I know, and it's crazy. And one of the things that we found, and I don't remember, Faith K, if you remember this or not, but it was like a year and a half ago or whatever, maybe not that long, maybe a year ago, a lot of people in the community, all different ages and people that I knew, were going ahead and getting their checkups and all of that stuff and getting their blood work done. We all know that we got sick around the same time, and they came back and told everybody that they had fatty liver. Now we're talking about 30 years old. We're talking about 50 years old, 23, it was ridiculous. And it was like, well, wait a minute. Okay. How much do you drink? How much do you drink? And we're all going through this. And we're like, Something's not right. And so sure enough, it was Tylenol seemed to be one of the biggest links. And so get off the Tylenol, went back, got my blood tested, I'm fine. So
Okay, answer to your question, and we're not medical experts, but this is just something that I've learned recently. Different people handle
different
diets differently. Sometimes you have to tailor your diet exactly to what you're doing. The only surefire way you will lose weight on any diet is by starving yourself, which is not good, right?
And Anto, you might even check in and see, you can find a wellness doctor and then have your blood taken, and that wellness doctor can actually tell you what diet is appropriate for your blood type. And that's really what the difference is, your blood type. And so if you can figure that one out and then figure out what's going on, you can curb that diet. So for me, carnivore diet does not work. I get meat sweats. It's terrible. I mean, I just feel horrible. And so that does not work for me. So what I do, I just go ahead and eat whatever, try to stay away from as many sugars as I can, because my body at this point cannot tolerate that sugar. And then what I do is I just eat smaller portions, try to do it frequently. I do get yelled at because I get busy and I forget to eat. And then I'll be shaking a little bit and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you need to eat. And I'm like, okay, I'll stop for a minute and get something in my mouth. 20 minutes later, I'm fine and I can go through. And then just eating clean by not buying the crap in the grocery store, right? You're obviously going to have to buy some stuff, but try, your meat. Don't buy it in the grocery store. Get it from a farmer. Know how it was raised and what's going on. I'm telling you, right there, when you change that, within 6 months, if you're working out in the garden and you're eating clean, I tell you, you're looking at 40 to 65 pounds, depending on how much activity you've got going on.
Okay. HG says something here that's really, really interesting. Brings up an interesting topic. I'm interested in it. You're talking about growing wheat and oats. Okay, wheat. Yeah. Okay. I'm interested in it. Grew up on a row crop farm with wheat as one of the crop. The problem with Homestead level now is no Homestead level equipment to harvest, thresh, and winnow. Okay, something I was doing some research the other day, and
yeah, because we've been trying to figure out the same thing.
And one of the things I found out was poor people did not eat wheat. All right, and when I say poor people, I mean the people that did not have the ability to thresh and grow it in large enough volume to have that kind of stuff. So if you look historically, grains like rye and millet and all these other ones, they're much hardier. They've got a much wider band of growth.
Less ingredients to make the bread.
And once you start using it, it's less ingredients.
If you go back, HG, to a video that I did on baking bread, it was the rye.
Well, I'm talking even before.
Yeah, but I talked about that. I'm sure I did. It was the rye. What's it called? The rye tack bread. And so if you go back to that video, I talk a little bit about that. And then if you get the book, let me grab the book. You continue.
But these grains, wheat is as far as expenses go, is a lot more expensive to grow than these other ones because it's got a lot less tolerance for everything that goes on out in nature, and it's the band. It's one of the reasons why Russian peasants traditionally used rye because it's much more hardy than wheat, right? And
that's also when it was traditional that the richer people, the people that had more money, they were also a lot bigger.
So here's the book she's talking about. It's Flatbread Flavors, and it's actually a really good book. They do they got recipes in here, plus they give you a little bit of history about it.
Is that right? Yeah, there's a couple different ones. This one is A Baker's Atlas by Jeffrey Alford and Naomi. But if you find a different cover, there's I think 2 or 3 versions out there. But these are all Breads of America, and it talks about why traditionally and what flours, that kind of thing. So anyway, and Preferably, I like the rye bread better than the wheat. I'm not gonna lie.
HG, I'm gonna say that anybody who's serious at the homestead level about doing that goes out and they find the equipment that they need.
Yeah.
And I know what you're talking about, the seed cleaning stuff. It's one of those things, just people don't have it, and quite frankly, growing wheat's hard. Everybody I've talked to and everybody I know that's done it, it's hard to do on a small scale.
Yeah, here August 15th is when you want to get that planted and then do that. We missed that, but we did get, what did we get down? Barley. We got barley down. So we'll see how the barley goes. That's more for animals, fodder, that kind of thing.
I got some seed for dryland rice, but the same problem with harvesting and such. Yeah. Well, and we've gotten too far away from the old ways, and we need to
figure it
get
out.
back to it.
Yeah.
Right?
We got to get it figured out.
Buckwheat grows like weeds. I have several harvests per year, but I don't know about processing it.
Ooh. Yeah, same book. It walks you through all of that. Seriously.
Skane says, eggs is what I'm having a problem with. I can't eat them consistently. In this Zoom last week, I was in such pain. I felt like my diverticulosis is flaring up, but it's not.
Interesting from eggs. I don't know why that is.
I know you weren't. I know you weren't talking about it. It just made me think of that, and it was a good segue. I'm not talking about different grains, and yes, it is like harder types of breads, but for the topic focused on equipment, there was some equipment for a decade or so ago imported, treadle powered. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
We'll have to look into that. That's interesting. That's a topic, HG, that I do find fascinating. You know, all the way from the different the different historical plants that everybody used to how they did it before modern mechanization.
Let me go back to Skanesboro real quick. Are you sure? What kind of, are you using oil or anything in the eggs when you cook them? And then are you keeping a log? Do you know what you're eating all day long? Like, are you getting seeds in there? Are you, like, what exactly are you doing there? Because I don't understand why eggs would cause a flare up. That doesn't make sense. Because it's pure protein.
You forgot sunshine and happiness in that recipe there.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to look that one up. Hopefully, I've got another question that came in this week. I'm gonna have to look up too. So I'm gonna put that on there because something. I bet you're getting seeds in somewhere. Or you're getting something that is causing that. It could be the oil that you're using if you're using oil to cook your eggs.
No, that's bourbon. Beer makes most things. Bourbon makes everything.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. So, but now I'm curious. So now I got to figure this out. I got to find out why.
Well, bourbon, quite honestly.
Not that. I'm talking about the diabetes.
Quite honestly, bourbon is nothing more than happiness and sunshine held together with water. That's all it is. Seriously. I remember visiting the malting floor at one of the that would be so awesome. We were talking back before all the craziness happened in 2020. We were talking about doing a distillery tour in Scotland with another group of friends. That would have been. Except I don't like flying. I don't get on airplanes anymore. I quit.
You could suck it up for that. You were close.
I was close.
Giving in. Hindsight, we should have done it. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my own distillery. I'm gonna have my own malting floor.
Yeah, if you guys are local Kansas, Missouri area, it's called Holidays now. Holiday Distillery, and it's up in Weston, and it's actually pretty neat. And you get to go in, and the smell of all the barrels that are in there is just amazing. It was really neat. So I like that. And then, so, all right. Well, you guys know we're alive now. Good. You're getting more comments than I can right now. So.
No. She doesn't think it's a flare-up. Nope. Gas pings without gas. If you use the CIE as a tour company for a Scotland and Ireland tour, they often have at least one distillery in Guinness as stops.
Well, Guinness
I just
would have
heard
been
angels.
fun.
I
I know.
seriously, I just heard angels.
All right.
All right, guys.
When all this craziness is over, maybe we'll go.
It is 9:00, and I am dead beat.
It's past your bedtime.
I still need to go shut the gate and make sure.
Nope, that's all done.
The gate's not shut.
Yes, it is.
Out front?
It's locked. You locked it.
Oh, I did?
I put the chickens and turkeys away.
Well, the dogs are out.
I'll get the dogs.
Gotta go find Fancy.
I'll get the dogs. You need to go to bed.
The Great Pyrenees likes going out the gate. Wine. Yes, I like wine. I make good wine, too.
In fact, we're getting ready to do a bunch of apple wine. And I went through the apples, all of those that baked, got all of those out. Those all went to the goats. I got to go pick a couple trees to make up for what we lost. And then we'll get that wine and everything going. So you need to get a hold of Data and make sure Sunday's going to be kosher. And he said he may not be able to make it.
Right.
So
go live a life done free, folks. Bet you jump on a plane to do hell no. Hell to the no. Three things fall from the sky: bombs, bird shit, and idiots. And I am not any one of those. Jumping out of a perfectly good airplane makes no sense to me.
you didn't even like jumping out of a helicopter, and you had to do it for a purpose.
No, I didn't have any problem with the helicopters. I had a rope to grab onto. You know. Yeah, that's what I use. I use champagne whenever I'm doing my distilling, too. All right, guys, we got to go. You have a great week. I'll see you guys in other chats.
Yep.
And hopefully in the comments. Go Thursday. Go check out the short that I'm going to do, the Clarifying My Vision short that's happening Thursday. Wait for a couple hours. It's going to happen at 6 Central Time in the morning. Wait several hours and then go check out the comments because
most of those nasty comments don't even come in until the next night. They start you'll get some during the day, but it was like between 10 o'clock and like 3 o'clock in the morning.
So is that the last thing you got to say?
No.
What do you got to say?
All right, guys. Make sure you're 1% better tomorrow than you were today.
All right, guys. And you guys go out and live a life done free. Take care.
Night.
See, I need to start doing this better.